The Jim Crow Museum is a national leader in the fight against racism. Located at Ferris State University in Big Rapids, Michigan, the museum has more than 4,000 objects. Segregation-themed artifacts, civil rights memorabilia, and everyday items that belittle African Americans. These objects are used to teach people to confront racism openly and honestly. Exception of this one.
Those sure is some tasty cookies.
Hey, what's going on? This museum was founded on the idea that items of intolerance can be used to teach tolerance. The museum uses Jim Crow-era objects to show that racism was wrong and is wrong. The museum serves as an invaluable resource for civil rights workers, human rights activists, civic leaders, politicians, clergy, and teachers and students at all levels. National and international attention has been focused on the museum. The Jim Crow Museum is currently housed in a small room, only 500 square feet. The small space prohibits the displaying of many objects. Also, there is not enough room for descriptive panels to place objects in the proper historical and social contexts. Only 16 to 18 people can fit comfortably in the room. Programming for large groups is difficult. At best, the current facility provides only visible storage for part of the collection. The Jim Crow Museum currently tells 3 stories: the origin of Jim Crow laws, the relationship between Jim Crow and discrimination, and the significance of anti-Black imagery in everyday material objects. Most of the items in the Jim Crow Museum cannot be found in any other museum. When the museum moves into a larger facility, it will tell 6 stories. First will be the origins of Jim Crow and the minstrel shows of Thomas Rice and others from the 1830s onwards. Through segregation signage and artifacts such as water fountains, visitors will learn how Jim Crow laws shaped and reflected discrimination. A sound and light show will illustrate how these laws impacted African Americans' daily lives. Second, visitors will experience how these laws were enforced through mob violence and terror. Historical images of violence against African Americans will be projected adjacent to Ku Klux Klan artifacts and artifacts depicting African Americans as targets. Third, visitors will experience how Black caricature helped justify African Americans' political, social, and economic oppression. Common everyday kitchen items, yard decorations, children's toys, games, cartoons, and thousands of other household and commercial items dehumanized African Americans. The 4th story the new museum will tell is the African American battle against this imagery by artists deconstructing the Aunt Jemima image and the NAACP struggle to remove Little Black Sambo from the public schools. 5th, despite racial violence, prejudice, discrimination, and segregation, many African Americans made outstanding contributions as scientists, inventors, writers, lawyers, educators, and business leaders. The new Jim Crow Museum will also tell the story of the Civil Rights Movement, a movement that helped America become a more democratic society. Finally, the museum will look at current examples of caricature, highlight the many individuals and organizations who are working to improve race relations in this country, and engage visitors in dialogue about how we can move beyond Jim Crow from the example of those who gave their lives in the cause of civil rights. These 6 stories collectively offer insight into historical and contemporary American race relations, and more importantly, teach lessons that help us learn from the past and change people's lives today. The Jim Crow Museum's traveling exhibitions, Hateful Things and Them, Images of Separation, also teach these lessons. Our goal is to understand and tackle all injustice based on race, class, ethnicity, and gender. We believe that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was right when he said that injustice anywhere is injustice everywhere. Fair State University has provided a centrally located space that will serve as the home of the new Jim Crow Museum. The cost to build the new museum is $1.2 million. We are changing lives. We are teaching people to talk openly and constructively about race and race relations. We need help at this historic moment from people who want to bring to life the exciting opportunities that the expansion of the museum and its programs promises. Help us change lives. Help the Jim Crow Museum continue the Woodbridge Ferris vision of a university that makes the world better.